I'm Michael Taifour, and this is my YouTube channel, the Coache Academy Show. Please hit that subscribe button below and don't forget to like my video. There are a few questions I would like to ask. Could this be the end of Facebook? Is it time to finally stand up to Mark Zuckerberg? Is the platform finally facing its big tobacco moment? Too many questions, too little answers. Here's the reason behind these questions. As you may all know, on October 4, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp all went down, all at the same time. Believe it or not. The outage that is said to have taken down Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp for about 6 hours, affecting billions of people around the world, may have been due to nothing but a tiny human error, a tiny human mistake. Imagine that. Talking about mistakes, this reminds me of a joke. An old and blind man walks into an old girl biker bar by mistake. He finds his way to a bar stool and orders a shot of Jack Daniels. After sitting there for a while, he yells to the bartender, "Hey, you wanna hear a blonde joke?" And the whole bar immediately fell absolutely silent. With a deep voice, the woman sitting next to him says, "Before you say that joke, old man, let me give you a piece of advice. Given that you are blind, the bartender is a blonde girl with a baseball bat. The bouncer is a blonde girl with a billy club. I am a 6 feet tall blonde woman with a black belt in martial arts. The woman sitting next to me is a blonde and a professional weightlifter. The lady to your right is a blonde and a professional wrestler. Now, do you think, old man, that you still want to tell that blonde joke?" And the blind old man thinks for a second, shakes his head, and says, "No, not if I'm gonna have to explain it 5 times." Now, I can get all technical with you guys about what happened at Facebook and repeat that official Facebook PR jargon nonsense about an outage that has been traced to a navigation system of the internet. And with that misconfigured, the company completely fell off the map of the internet and went totally off grid. I mean, do you believe that? Do you believe that a tech giant like Facebook, which has 3 billion users and a mission statement of bringing the world closer together, had suffered a mysterious technical breakdown, making it go completely dark? Do you know how serious this is? Messages would not send on Messenger. Money would not flow on WhatsApp money transfer. And pages that used Facebook for logins locked the users out. At Facebook itself, employees could not use their keycards to enter the premises. What a mess it must have been for Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg, who's said to have lost close to $10 billion. Oh, by the way, since Facebook claims they own everything we post on their platform, maybe I should start uploading my unpaid bills onto it. But seriously, guys, what really happened at Facebook? And how could a company that big suffer from a glitch that small? What's the story here? It is possible that someone somewhere must have screwed up big time. But who? This is the part that I don't understand. I guess the cause may have been a human error. A very senior engineer at Facebook may have made a basic error, a mistake that spread across the internet. This is what happens when you play God with technology. If what happened with Facebook taught us anything, it is that large organizations can make very stupid mistakes and that these silly mistakes could cost us a fortune. It's about time to stop their monopoly, don't you think? Well, I must be dreaming. I would be dead and buried before that happens. But then again, you never know. Talking about big tech, the CEO of a tech giant had to step down. Before he left office, he met with his successor and handed him 3 envelopes numbered 1, 2, and 3. Open these if you have any problems, the departing CEO said. Things went along pretty smoothly, but 6 months later, sales took a sharp downturn. So he took out the first envelope and the message read, "Blame your predecessor." So he did, and Wall Street responded positively. Problem solved. A year later, the company started having some serious staff issues, and the CEO opened the second envelope, and the message read, "Downsize," and the company rebounded. But after several profitable quarters, the company fell into debt. So the CEO opened his third envelope, and the message said, "Start drafting 3 envelopes." Of course, when it comes to Facebook, one can argue that whatever happened that day could have been a malicious act, perhaps by an unhappy, disgruntled employee. It doesn't matter what the reason is. All what matters is that Facebook's domination is about to end. Well, it looks that way, doesn't it? Speaking of the end, did you hear that there's an app that lets you see which of your family members would have been Nazis in World War II? It is called Facebook. Facebook did a lot of damage to the American society until one day, one guy decided to change the rules of the game. This is a joke, of course. He was perhaps the only person in the country to give up social media entirely for a whole year, which he spent trying to make friends outside of Facebook. Every day he walked down the streets and told passers-by what he'd eaten, how he felt, what he did the night before, and what he will do tomorrow. The stuff you see on Facebook every day, you know. He was also happy to share with them pictures of his family, his dog, his gardening, etc. And it worked. He already got 3 people following him, 2 police officers and a psychiatrist. Let's admit it, guys. Because of Facebook and other social media, probably also owned by Facebook, entire generations of young people have to live with bias, division, mental health problems, and an inability to tell right from wrong. They walk around with triggers that can be ignited at any moment. And if this continues, we will see more shootings, more children with ADHD, more suicides, and more depression. By the way, if one day YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook merge, what do you think they'll be known as? How does "you twit face" sound to you? Personally, as soon as I heard that Facebook was going to get broken up, I immediately went and claimed iBook, Nosebook, and Mouthbook.com. After all what's happened, Facebook is now weaker than you could ever imagine. According to the Wall Street Journal, Facebook's best days are over. The story of the unstoppable bulldozer is almost behind us. And I'm saying almost because Facebook is horrifyingly powerful. And it will be very, very difficult for it to be brought to heel. especially with America so weak at present. Without strong government intervention, it would be next to impossible to bring Facebook down. I remember when I was married, my wife, now ex-wife, always complained that my life revolved around Facebook and that it had destroyed the way we communicated with each other. So, I blocked her on Facebook. But let's face it, guys, even with America so weak, Facebook is in trouble. I'm not talking about financial trouble or legal trouble or even senators yelling at Mark Zuckerberg trouble. What I'm talking about is a kind of slow and steady decline that anyone who has ever seen a dying company up close and personal can immediately recognize. It's a cloud that hangs over an organization whose best days are behind it and is desperately attempting to find its way out. It is the beginning of the end for Facebook. And this reminds me. Someone wrote on Facebook the other day, "My pizza's burned, my beer is frozen, and my girlfriend's pregnant." And a friend of his immediately replied, "It seems you cannot take anything out on time." As far as I'm concerned, if Facebook has proven one thing in 2021 is that Black lives matter. If recent history taught us anything at all, it's that social networks rarely age gracefully and that tech companies can do a lot of damage on their way down. Still, Facebook's next few years could be uglier than its last few. I'm not saying that Facebook is no longer powerful, but I cannot also deny that Facebook is in decline. Even Godzilla eventually died in the movie, and as the Facebook files make it clear, so will Facebook. This happened. A friend of mine changed his Facebook name to Nobody. Now when he likes something, it says, "Nobody likes this." I don't personally care much about losing Facebook. I've never been a big fan anyway. But what happens if we lose WhatsApp? Losing the messaging service is life-shattering, the closest thing to a near-death experience. In February last year, WhatsApp announced it had 2 billion users worldwide. Compare that to Facebook's 2.5 billion users, and it's easy for you to see how many lives WhatsApp touches. It's become the default method to contact people in plenty of countries, including around 400 million monthly users in India alone, according to Bloomberg. So if WhatsApp goes down, entire economies might go down with it, unless competing apps like Signal, Telegram, and iMessage can replace it, although they are not at par with it. Meanwhile, Mark Zuckerberg's net worth is said to be down to nearly $122 billion, dropping him below Bill Gates to number 5, down from almost $140 billion in a matter of weeks. What a shame. By the way, if Mark Zuckerberg becomes poor one day, he'll make one hell of an Uber driver. Why? Because once you get into his car, he'd already know your name and your address. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Be safe and bye for now.